Several players in line to come back this week. Have you made a decision on any of them yet?
No, we'll have our main training session today and hopefully we'll have a bit more information. But we'll stick with our philosophy of making sure that we play guys who are absolutely 100% and ready to go. But yeah, it would be nice to have a bit more availability this week.
Are Waite and Wells ready to go?
Again, we're hopeful, but they'll have to prove that they're absolutely perfect. Otherwise, we won't take the risk. So if they play, you can be rest assured they're ready to play.
Del Santo's definitely right.
Oh yeah, he's pulled up really well. It was a minor illness that he just wasn't quite well enough to play. But he's trained the last couple of days and he looks pretty good, so he should be fine. But again, I'll wait further confirmation today.
How massive is this game? You can just about seal the 8 with a win.
Yeah, I mean it's important. I mean every game's important, and but to be perfectly honest, I mean we're not burying our head in the sand. We understand the situation, the state of the ladder, the tightness and the evenness of the competition. But really our main focus is on just rediscovering our best footy. And we've been thereabouts in terms of a lot of things we've been trying to do, but they haven't been polished performances and they haven't been good enough to get us the win. So we're just really focused on getting back to our best and the rest will take care of itself.
How hard has it been to deal, I guess, with the revolving door with all the injuries you've had of late?
It makes things more difficult, no doubt. We're not going to shy away from that, but at the same time, it gives us great opportunity to have a look at other players. And if we hadn't had a few guys go out, we wouldn't have had a chance to have a look at the likes of Ryan Clark and rotate a few different forwards in through our side. Mason Woods really emerged this year as a terrific young footballer for the present and the future. So there's been a bit of opportunity there for us as well. But I think the upside in the second half of the year is that we've exposed some young guys, we've played a lot of players, and we'll get a lot of our senior guys back.
Got a final confirmation on how long Mason will miss?
Look, not absolutely definitive, but he did have surgery, and they repaired the medial ligament and also tidied up some other things in the knee. So we're expecting about a 6 to 8 week recovery, which will put him pretty close to the bye before the finals. So it's going to be a tight run back, but our attitude, and speaking to Mason, our attitude as a club is to do everything we can to try and get him back, potentially for a final series, and then we'll just have to rehab it as best we can.
How do you counteract Port Adelaide's fierce game style, playing style? Would you say a lot of tackles in there, and they've been pretty good the past few weeks? Yeah,
they have. Their intensity's been really good around the ball, and they certainly attack very well, and their defence has held up pretty well too. So, we've got to be aware of that, and we've got to get on the front foot ourselves, and hopefully they are trying to tackle a lot because we've got the ball.
Brad, a game off second spot yet lost last than 5-6. How do you sort of expect your players this week? Is it more we're right near the top, or more no, we need to fix our form?
Mostly just about the process of what we want to improve. The guys are well aware of some of the things that we haven't been doing so well, and they're really determined to fix that. So we haven't spoken about the makeup of the 8 at the moment, or the evenness of the competition as such, but they would know that themselves without us having to address it. So we've just been focusing on the facts, and the leaders have driven things really well in terms of what we want to improve, and we're really optimistic about the second half of the year.
Have you been conscious of, boosting morale this week after a run of a few losses in a row? No,
fortunately I haven't had to. It's been a little bit like the start of the year where I didn't really have to bring the players back down to earth when we were winning a lot of games in a row, and I haven't had to pick them up this week either. They've driven that really well themselves, so that's been really pleasing from a coaching perspective, and they're really focused and eager to get out and work hard and get better as a team, and we're really clear on the things we need to fix.
There's a lot of talk about Drew. How is in his form?
We've always talked about our forward half as the offensive unit, and that offensive unit probably the last few years has been really solid, but the unit itself hasn't been working to the level that we would expect, and Drew's only a part of that. He's a significant part, but he's only a part nonetheless. So we're looking at all our forward line players to improve and to work a bit better together. But the baseline of Drew's game is the way he defends, and that is just incredibly underrated outside our football club, but it's incredibly highly rated inside. So, any external comments about Drew are irrelevant to us, and I just work on the things that I can help Drew with. But rest assured, he's an important member of our team.
So you haven't considered he needs a run in the VFL? You back him in to turn it around at AFL level?
Not for 1 second.
Do you guys look at throwing him into the ruck maybe to help him reinvigorate his footy, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think he's going that bad. He rucks for us anyway. So, we've got an All-Australian standard ruckman. So he generally takes the first ruck spot.
Has the absence of Jared Waite hurt him a bit, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's hurt the unit. I think that there are some things that others can do as well to help. But that's the responsibility of a veteran. When things aren't working, you tend to take the heat. It's the responsibility of a coach too. When the team's not performing well, it falls on the coach as it should. So Drew's big enough and experienced enough to withstand this, and I'm really looking forward to his second half of the year.
Fred, any disappointment that Channel 7 named your club as the catfish story as a player involved?
Well, I mean, that's for other journalists to respond to, I suppose, in terms of where you see the ethical standards. But from my understanding, it's a private, personal and legal matter, and it's not for me to comment on.
Just with Mason Wood, it sounds like he's attracting a bit of interest. Do you think you've got a fight on your hands to keep Mason, or are you confident his future's here?
Look, I reckon I've been really consistent on talking about player movement and players from other clubs, and also contractual status of players within our club. So I've got great confidence now, list management team, and all our players are really valuable to us, and I'm sure it'll all work itself out. But what happens will happen internally, and I don't think it's for me to comment in the public arena.